I'm just gonna say it. Mario Kart World's enemies are weird. Literally no one else is talking about this, so I am. Anyway, I'm gonna start off with the most insane one on this list. The fact that Nintendo decided to add generic animals as obstacles, like an elephant, a zebra, and an ostrich. Like, why? In Donkey Kong Bonanza, you actually have each of these animals as NPCs. I can't think of a single reason Nintendo wouldn't want to add those NPCs in as enemies here, too. Now you might be thinking, what about the snake NPCs in Donkey Kong Bonanza? There are snakes and pots in Mario Kart World after all, but I've got a different plan for the snakes. So here's the thing. The snakes in Mario Kart World currently look like this, which is actually a reference to Histocrat. Props to whoever already knew that, because I had to look it up. But since they come out of pots, any OGs out there remember Kobrat from Super Mario Bros. 2? He's literally a snake that comes out of a pot. This would have been such a good reference. But if Nintendo's just out here saying,
"You gotta put your behind in your pants,"
then fine. Why not use the other snake from a pot, Serpent from Mario Wonder? It's a much more recent game, and it would actually make sense. Also, on the topic of Mario Wonder, you may have realized that there are two more generic animals in Mario Kart World I haven't talked about yet. Those being the armadillos and the bull. Obviously, the creators of this game have never played Mario Wonder, because Armad and Bull Rush are literally right there. No reason to elaborate on Armad. It's just the same thing, but better. But for Bull Rush, it should only be one bull charging through the track, not a whole herd. Though honestly, an entire herd would be kind of fun. Now, for a minute here, I do want to talk about enemies in the sky, because gliding is way more prominent in this game than it is in something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And because of that, some of the gliding sections get a little boring. My best idea, add sting bees. They'd work like the urban sting bees from the glide-on section of Darker Side in Super Mario Odyssey. Or even just a paratroopers flying back and forth. That would work excellently. Now look at this guy. Yeah, Sandbar. He's pretty cool and glitchy in photo mode for some reason, but they tried to make him an obstacle for this long gliding section, and he always comes out way too early. And if you're somehow fast enough for him to actually be a problem, he's incredibly easy to dodge. So yeah, Nintendo, if you could just make him come out like 7 seconds earlier, that'd be great. Another thing I thought of, there should be more enemies on rails, like fuzzies. They do appear in some P-Switch missions, but I don't think they ever show up in a real race. They'd be a great addition though. Or what if they appeared on the track with an item or coin above their head, making the player want to charge jump over them to get that reward? And can we talk about the size inconsistencies? I mean, look at these. A Goomba is bigger than Bowser. Now, back to Donkey Kong Bonanza. You've probably heard about the possible Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC for Mario Kart World. And if that happened, I would absolutely love a Fractone Village track with Fractones, not as enemies, but as obstacles. Walking around, minding their own business, and then wham! You crash into one. But then they regenerate. Or maybe they're even drivers, using shape-shifting as their stunts. Now let's switch to the rats from Yoshi's Island. Now I know what you're thinking.
Actually, the rats were used as an enemy in Super Circuit's Cheese Land.
But I'd make them work differently here. When you run into them, they take the item in your first slot and then bounce off of you as a live obstacle. But if someone else runs into them while they're holding an item, then the rat drops the item on the track for someone else to pick up or run into and spin out. This would be a super unique mechanic that I think would work really well. Now, let's talk about the Rocky Wrenches. They're in the game, but they don't throw wrenches.
What?
Like, why? This is literally their whole purpose. I don't think it would have even been that hard to implement. Hello, Nintendo, I know you're smarter than this. Now it's time to talk about Dino Jump. Two things. First of all, why is this T-Rex not that T-Rex? Second, why is this aquatic dino not Dory? These are literally the same animals, but no, Nintendo just had to throw in more generic animals instead of cool references. Also, who thought it was a good idea to put pterodactyls in the sky and then not make them interactable? Huge miss. Now, if we look at Dry Desert, we see whereas bigger Mario fans might think of the Moai statue from Super Mario Odyssey. But this is actually another enemy from a past Mario game, that being Super Mario Land. And they even included the winged variant. But there was actually one more variant, one that throws stones at Mario. I'm not a game designer, so I don't know how hard this would have been to add, but it would definitely be fun if large stones would roll towards you and you had to quickly drive out of the way. But what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments what enemies you think should be changed or added in Mario Kart World. If you liked the video, guess what? There's a button for that. And if you want to see more content like this, there's a button for that too. At 500 subscribers, I'll be doing a face reveal. So bye, and I'll see you next time.